Okay, I'm going to bring up our next speaker, Brian Price. Former engineer with 3 young kids, so I'm already jealous. You're smart.
2 young kids.
Got started online.
I have the third one. I'm the third one, I guess.
He got started online as a coaching client with Matt. He was the very first licensee, so he's a legend. He's like the first licensee. He gave the first testimonial for MOBE. He's also the head coach in MOBE. So I'm not kidding when he is a legend. This is the guy. And today he's going to talk about goal setting. So sit up, but also I need another loud applause for Brian Price.
All right. Thanks, man. All right. How you guys doing? Excellent. All right. So, yeah, fist pump, fist pump. Cool. All right. So I'm excited to be up here. It's always, anytime I get up stage, I'm always nervous. I'm pacing back and forth. But I'm always excited to be up here because it's fun for me, even though I don't sleep the night before. Especially with the intro, being a legend it's nice to be said that. I don't really feel that way. I'm just a regular guy that just took action. That's all I did. So today, being part of MOBE for such a long time, I've seen kind of beginning of when we're kind of just starting out. And truth be told is when I became a licensee, I didn't know I was one of the first ones to actually become a licensee. So that was pretty interesting to learn that, but it's also cool to be part of something, the start of something that's just getting bigger as we go along. And I don't think we're anywhere near where we're going to be, and so that's what's really cool. Okay, so a little bit of background. I was an engineer, as Jimmy said, for 13 years, I have a wife and 2 3.5-year-old twins. And so I don't know where the third one comes from, but I call my twins squared anyway, so that it feels like 4 kids more than anything. So I've been really busy, but they're a blast, and I'm really blessed to have a wonderful wife and kids. Yeah, I started as coaching with MOBE in March of 2012. As one of the coaches, and then eventually became the head coach. And I actually quit my job last year. It's actually a year since this month since I quit my job. So, it used to say if I was still an engineer, I'd be an engineer for 14 years. It's still 13 years, so that will always stay at 13 years. Okay, so know that this can happen for any of you, because when I started in October of 2011, I had never built a list before. I had no prior experience online. I started from square one, where maybe some of you are right now. And so don't think that when you're hearing some people where they're at, that you have to be where they're at to get their success. Is they started at square one too, like everybody else. So really keep that in mind as you're building your business and putting things forward. And so what I want to talk about is kind of the things that you want to be successful in your online business. And I always kind of come back to these things. I've coached probably nearly hundreds of people in MOBE on getting started, and from different levels. And I kind of came down with these 3 things that I think kind of brought together kind of the 3 things I thought that bring a successful business together. One is consistency. Is you want to be consistent with bringing the traffic flow into your business. It's really important that you set a level, whatever level it is. I tell people, whatever it is, I'm okay with it. Just set it. And never go below that when you're building your business. So as a licensee and Titanium Platinum members, is you want a consistent lead flow into the sales funnel, because that's going to lead to those consistent commissions on the back end. And that's really what you want to have when you're when you're building your business. And so, you know, and never stop. I mean, the idea is to, if it's got to be low so you never stop it, then fine. But you always want to work up to it. You can do sprints of higher ones if you want to, say on contests or other things. But never drop below that. And the second thing is tracking. And at the Long Beach event, I talked quite a bit about tracking. So, it's very important to make sure that you're tracking all the traffic you're doing. So whether you're building your own list or if you're just driving it straight into the MOBE sales funnel, you know, you're tracking how that's working so that you understand where your numbers are. And knowing your numbers is very, very important. And I'm going to pre-warn you, I actually have quite a bit of numbers in my presentation today. So, and as we go through them, because I wanted to kind of show the numbers, how everything kind of fits together. Being an engineer, it kind of, I always like to kind of look at that, and especially when you're looking at tracking, I always want to know what your numbers are, because the numbers tell a story, and I always want to understand where that's coming from. And the third thing is branding. And as you're starting out, branding's not hugely important, but as you move along, you do. You see people like, you know, John Chow, Terry Lamb, you know, Ken Feminoff, all these people in the audience. They have a brand. And that kind of brings an X factor to pulling people into your business and having them trust you and want to you know, be a part of what you're doing within MOBE. So, you know, MOBE is a brand as well, which has a certain a reputation in the field, which is, you know, very, very positive, and you connect with that with your own brand as well, and that's really where you start to make those higher commissions. Okay, and so yeah, if you're totally new, you know, don't worry necessarily about the branding, but you want to keep that in mind when you're building your business. All right, so setting goals is one of the things I think that a lot of us talk about, but we never actually really do. And we're actually going to do some stuff today too. So if you have a make sure you have a piece of paper or something to write on, a computer or something like that, because I'm going to be going through, want you guys to do some stuff too. So it's not just me talking on stage, I want you guys doing some stuff as well, okay? All right, cool. So with setting goals, I love this quote from Albert Einstein, is you can't solve the problems in the same kind of thinking that you use we created them. I always paraphrase is we can't take our crappy old self into a bright new future. Is we want to kind of move away from, you know, the thinking of what we had today into where we want to be tomorrow. And the reason is that you know, we're moving into a new way of building a business online, and so we always want to do that. So we want to work, you know, set goals for your business that you want to achieve, of course. And usually what I have people do is work backwards. Start from a year, go to 6 months, and then to 3 months. And then we want to set them outside of our current environment. So the reason for that, and I got this from a guy named Jim Bunch. You may know him he's in personal development. And what he talked about was, when you're if you set your goals within your current environment, say your home office or at home or something like that, you have a certain thinking. And you want to set them outside of that because you now are free to kind of think bigger than what you are. And so like at this conference where you're with a number of people that are like-minded, your thinking has expanded. So whose thinking has expanded since they've been at this conference, right? Pretty much every single one of you. And so, you know, the reason now, and we're going to do some goal setting today because I want you guys to be in that expanded mind frame in order to set bigger goals so that you can start to see what really is out there for your business. And then also we want to do non-monetary goals. You know, what is the income going to give you? What would it feel like to accomplish your goals? And, you know, and how many people you have written goals? Show of hands. Okay, so some of you do. Okay, good, good. How many of those have specific dates on those goals? Okay, so less of you. All right, cool. So And that's kind of what we want to do. So when we're talking about revenue goals, and this is where I'm going to warn you, I'm going to get into a lot of numbers. Being an engineer, I like to look at numbers. I've always been good at math. And so I wanted to do that. And a lot of people ask me, like, well, how many sales do I need to make in order to earn this amount of commissions? Or how many, what should my marketing be? And so will you guys feel that's beneficial to see those kind of numbers? Are you guys up for that? Yeah. All right, excellent. So what we do is we're going to calculate, how do you calculate revenue numbers for your marketing? And you always want, again, we're going to work backwards with the end in mind. We want to understand, where are we going with this? Is always where does that point be? Where is that going to take us? So we're going to use conservative numbers in order to have an idea where our marketing is. And it's just to give an approximation. And it's not necessarily to say this is exactly going to happen this way, but it's something that really helps to kind of give you a ballpark of where things are going to go. And it kind of gives you a better idea of telling a story. And who remembers story problems in school? Yeah. And when you said the train left Chicago at 8 o'clock and going so many miles per hour and this and that, who liked those story problems? Who really like? Okay, we got a couple good people. you guys are probably the math folks. Okay, so who liked the problems though that had to do with the little money sign in front of it though? Yeah. So the idea behind it is that these is when we're looking at the numbers and looking at how that does, it's basically it's a story problem. And so so what we're going to do is we're going to use what we learned from the MOBE sales funnel. And these are kind of our assumptions as we use in mathematics on how we do that. So we're going to assume that 4 MTTBs equals 1 MLR sale or license sale. So the idea is that is we have seen it higher than this, but we're just going to use a conservative estimate that we've seen that works. So as for my tier businesses, we usually get 1 license sales, and then we're going to use the 6, 2, and 1 that we learned of. Every 6 licensees, 2 of them will become titanium, and 1 will become platinum. Okay, and we're going to approximate that every 40 to 60 leads. We need 40 to 60 leads before we see 1 MTTB sale, and we have a 30% opt-in rate in the capture page. So is everybody kind of familiar with these terms? Anybody that's not familiar? I want to kind of explain what these all mean. Okay, excellent. So the idea, we're going to use these assumptions for estimates only. These are conservative estimates. They could be higher, they could be lower, but on average, this is kind of what we're looking for. Okay, so this is basically just to, the actual results could be slightly different than what you may be seeing. So that's where the tracking comes involved, so that when you are seeing your averages, you can use this to calculate your own more realistically. But what I want to do here is kind of give you a ballpark of how you can start to do that. All right? So we're going to do an example. So say we want to make $45,000 in commissions. So who wants to make $45,000 in commissions? All right. Yeah. So if you don't, then there's the door. and so basically to earn that, as a license rights owner, you would need, so for each, to do the math, basically per MLR you get 4 my top tier business plus the commission for the licensees, which is about, each licensee you'd make about $1,160. Okay, and then in order to make the 45,000, you would need to have 39 license rights sales. Okay. Now, if you were a titanium member, now your per MLR, and this is where it gets a little more complex, but The idea is that what I'm calculating is we have the 6, 2, and 1 calculation. So each MLR that you get, each of the 6 of the MLRs you get, 2 of them are going to step up to titanium. Okay? So that gives you $6,000 in commissions. So that, everybody follow me? Okay. So that means each MLR sale, you're making $2,160. Okay? So to get that same $45,000 in commissions, you now only have to do 21 MLR sales. You guys kind of see in the picture why top tier kind of is a big difference in your bottom line? Okay. Now, let's look at platinum. Same thing. Now we add the platinum commission. So out of 6, 1's going to go up. So we'd take the $5,000 divided by 6. And now you're making about $3,000 per license rights. Okay? And now you only need 15 license rights in order to make the same amount of commissions. Okay? So who would rather make 39? Who would rather do 39 MLR sales versus 15? Okay. All right. So who would rather do just the 15 as a platinum? Awesome. Yeah. So, all right. Any questions on this? I know I kind of threw a lot at you at once. Okay. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to now look at the marketing side of this. So we now looked at, how many sales I need to make in order to get those commissions. Now it's how much marketing do I need to do? And so again, we're going back to our assumptions, and we're going to say, okay, it takes about 50 leads per MTTB, and then with a 30% opt-in rate. So what basically, yeah.
Stand by.
A lead is
Brian, could you repeat the question?
After they opt in, they're in the MOBE sales funnel. So yeah. So what's happened is, so when you're driving traffic, they see the capture page, then they opt in, and then they become a lead. So that's basically what I'm talking about when I talk about a lead. Any other questions?
Stand by.
Brian, we had talked about this previously, but I just wanted to clarify, is when somebody opts in, do they go into the sales funnel where they're getting Matt's emails before they purchase, or do they have to purchase top tier in order to start getting into that system of receiving the follow-up emails of Matt's?
They will always get follow-up emails when they opt in. So when they're in the MOBE sales funnel, there'll be follow-up emails. If they buy, then they'll get a different set of follow-up emails. Okay? All right. Okay, so again, we're going back to one MLR has 4 MTTB sales, or 4 MTTB sales. 4 MTTB sales times 50, which is 50 leads per MTTB sale, equals 200 leads. So we're going to approximate for each license right sale, we have 200 leads in there. And again, these are all approximations, so your numbers may be slightly different depending on the traffic source you're using and the quality of the traffic. Okay, so and from 200 leads, the opt-in rate is 30%. So now that's about, I rounded up to about 700 clicks. So say you're buying a solo ad at 700 clicks, and say they're 40 cents a click, then you're looking at $280 in ad marketing spend. Okay? Does that all make sense? Any questions on that? All right. So what we're going to do now is we're looking at the same MLR sales. So we're going to say for license rights where we had to do 30 license rights, we need to generate 7,800 leads, which is 27,000 clicks, which by these calculations is an ad spent of $10,920. Okay? So this doesn't have to be all at once. This is just, you know, again, we're not putting time into this. We're just putting commissions. So it's to earn the $45,000 in commissions. As a licensee only, you need to spend $10,200, $900, almost $11,000 in ad spent. As a titanium mastermind, that actually drops in half, 5,600, because you now only need to do 21 license rights. And so what that's showing is that not only are you making commissions faster, but you're not even have to spend as much on your ads to do it. And platinum is even lower. So 15 MLRs is 3,000 leads, 10,000 clicks, or $4,000 in ad spend. Okay? Just kind of bringing it home for everybody? Yeah. So I wanted to show, I know this is exactly super exciting stuff, but I wanted to kind of show the number side a little bit to kind of show you how you can create the commissions you're looking for, not only from the revenue side, but also from what you would want to do in marketing as well. And so that's going to give you kind of a general idea. So when you're doing these revenue goals, you can now kind of go through and you can set the revenue goal, work your way backwards to the sales you need in order to do that, and then approximate the marketing you need to do that as well. And so it gives you a better idea of what you should be doing on a daily basis. Now, if you're just starting out and you're just learning, I don't suggest you go out and spend this amount of money just to do it. You want to learn to be a good marketer. So it's not about, you know, going out and spending a bunch of money. But it's about, you know, being a good marketer, learning how to drive the effective traffic so you're seeing these numbers, and then ramping up to that. And that's what you're doing, okay? And that's where paid traffic becomes very effective as well, because now, you know, with more organic searching and things like that, you can't ramp up like this. It's very difficult. So that's where paid marketing is as well. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to take 5 to 10 minutes, and you're going to write your revenue goals for the next 3, 6, and 12 months for your MOBE business. I want you to use, work backwards, use the example that's on there. Just I want this kind of to sink in a bit since we're here. If you left, you probably will forget most of what I say, so that's why I want you to do it right now. So take 5 to 10 minutes, and what we'll do is we'll go through, and you'll be able to kind of put those to paper. So the idea behind this calculation is about the it's not about I took time out of the equation because it was just about earning $45,000 in commissions. It had nothing to do with time. So you can do that 45 in a month, in a week, in a day, or if you want to stretch it over a year. It's up to you what your goals are. So I just wanted to give that example so you could work it backwards in what your ad spend is and what your sales need to be at. All right. And a lot of people have asked me about these slides. I know it's a lot of complex stuff on here, so I'll make the slides available to you so you can have them. Okay, so we're going to switch away from math now. Hopefully you're happy about that. So that was the heavy part. I wanted to conquer that first, so I had the most of your attention. Now we're gonna so now we're gonna go from your not just from calculating your sales and things like that. We want to know why are you doing this. So you put these revenue goals down for 3, 6, and 12 months. Now you want to understand, well, why am I doing this? Money is just a tool. It doesn't really do anything. It does what the things you want to do it with. And so, there's going to be ups and downs in your online business. And so you want to be clear on, why you're doing this. Why is it that that you're doing this. It's more than just the money. It's what the money will do for you. You know, so you want to think about at each of those goals why you want that. What are you going to do to do that? And that's what's going to energize you as well. If it's for your kids or for your family, my why has always been my wife and kids. I wanted to be a stay-at-home dad. I wanted to have the time with my family in order to spend with them. That's my why. Your why may be the same. It may be different. But it's what is important to you, and that's why you want to be clear on that. Also, you want to celebrate your wins. A lot of times we get into the grind and we continue to, you know, we get to this goal and then, oh, I got to get to that goal. Oh, I got to get to that goal. And a lot of times it's just celebrating the things that you do either are on on these big goals or on a daily basis. You know, I don't know how many times I've had people. I remember when I got my first. Who remembers their first lead they ever got on a capture page? Okay, were you super excited to actually get a lead and just, you know, someone opted in? This is awesome. This actually works. I hope and then you wanted to make a sale and something like that. But the idea behind that is, we forget that those little things are things we need to celebrate. And what that does is it increases your energy and increases your ability to, Justin talked about mindset yesterday. It increases your energy and your mindset to a point where you can continue to build your business. And it's not necessarily about time management when it comes to building your business. It's energy management. The greater your energy is, probably many of you heard of the law of attraction and stuff like that. But the higher amount of energy you have in where you are in more of a positive direction, that's going to help your business move forward as well. So didn't want to make that too motivational, but it kind of did. So so that's why you want to put those together, and so that's why it's very, very important to have those in front of you. And so what I want you guys to do, and we're not going to take that long with this because I don't think we need 10 minutes, but I want you to write down your whys for building your online business. I want you to write down next to each goal what you're going to do to celebrate those particular goals. The idea is to give yourself something to celebrate that accomplishment, because you are accomplishing your goals, and you don't want to get too hung up on just accomplishing goals. You want to celebrate it knowing that you are progressing in your online business. And then I want you to break down kind of daily habits, or what you're going to focus on each of those days in order to get you to those goals and be able to achieve them. So the idea is to get the big goals, understand your why, celebrate your wins, and then set up some daily habits that you're going to be doing in order to drive that traffic. So like what Matt talked about with his revenue goals, he has a daily target that he's looking at, okay? And so it's always focused in on what do I need to do today? Because you can look at 3 months down the road and says, well, it's just 3 months down the road, so I don't have to do anything today, which really won't get you to that goal. So take some time, put some thought into it, and we'll take 5 minutes to do that, and then we can. If you have any questions, let me know, and we'll go from there. All right, so continue to work on that. Keep these in front of you, and make sure that you are that this is something that you move your business forward. So just do people feel a little more clear about where they're going in their business? Okay, good, because that's really what I wanted you to do, is do this here, because now you actually have an action to move forward with. Now you have a plan that you're going to start as soon as you get out of this building. And that's one of the things. It's great to be here, but it's also when you're at home, when things start to get in the way, we want to have something concrete to fall back on. Okay, so the next thing is branding. And branding is building a list, which is creating an asset for your business. And there's two ways within MOBE to start to build your list. And it's important to build your list. And one is you can create your own capture page and funnel and email follow-up and things like that. And so that's one method of doing that. There's many people that do that. The other method, which is if maybe you're uncomfortable or maybe you don't want to do that much of setup and tech stuff, that we have what's called the MTTB co-op. Is anybody familiar with which is basically what we've done is we've created a special link in your affiliate back office that when you send traffic to it, it'll actually register, it'll co-register. It'll register with the MOBE sales funnel and it'll register with your autoresponder. How many people are familiar that we have that service available? Yes, it's working. And so, okay, so just a few of you. So the rest of you don't know what it is, so good. I'll go over that. So those are the two ways. And the reason you want to build your list is that it's something that you can start to create a relationship with. And so that's kind of the first point of branding. And as a platinum member, you get the done for you emails for free. And then if you wanted it as a titanium or license rights, then those are available to you as well at a cost. But the idea behind them is those are initially able to build that list, by someone that a good copywriter knows how to write emails, and then also learn how to write your own and talk about your story and brand yourself as someone that's kind of stands out, of someone that can help them. And so that's where a lot of these, the people that have the really big checks are the people that are really doing that well. And so that's why you want to eventually get to that point. If you're not and you want to just use the co-op, then we'll go over that as well. And so what's cool about that is you don't need to necessarily learn how to do all the huge branding emails and worry about getting them into the MOBE sales funnel. Now they'll already be in there and they'll be getting that. The MTTB co-op link in the new affiliate back office is this one right here. So basically what it is it'll say MOBE co-op MTTB, and there's your link under there. So essentially what that's doing is it'll allow you to use this link. It goes to the same capture page as your regular MTTB link as well. So it's still going to come up, look the same. What it's going to do, though, it's going to co-brand you with that MTTB product. And there is a video in here under MOBE Office. If you go to My Products, License Rights, Getting Set Up, and under the video, there's this one, How to Build Your Own List with MOBE's co-reg software. You can look at the video. Underneath the video, there's a link. That link is going to send you to this page here. And what this page is going to do is you're going to fill it in. And the idea behind it is we're going to ask for your information. Right now, it's compatible with GetResponse and GVO autoresponders. So what this is going to do, you'll send this. It'll come to our tech team. And our tech team will set this up for you. So now when you are driving traffic, it'll build your list at the same time. It'll allow you to, and actually what we do on the sales page for MTTB, we actually put your picture next to Matt's on there. So your picture will be on there, so they'll be expecting emails from you. And it'll say from Matt Lloyd and John Doe. And so that's available to you. So if you don't want to create your own capture page and do all that stuff, you can use this service. We did this specifically to help you build your list as soon as possible and still bring people into the MOBE sales funnel. So I highly suggest you set this up. It's a free service, so if you're not taking advantage of it, then you're missing out. So I really highly suggest to you that you do that. Yeah, question?
Stand by.
All right, hang on.
Are there any plans to incorporate it with AWeber?
I don't think we will be able to. AWeber has more restrictions on that stuff. We have some possible things, workarounds for that that we're looking into. But right now, we don't really have anything for that. Okay. Any questions on this? Okay. Excellent. All right. So, how many people are using this, by the way, right now? Okay. How many is going to use it after today? Good. Good. Is the I Am Revolution one carried over? It should be. I would test it out just to make sure. So opt in yourself and test it out, and make sure it's there. If it's not, then put in a customer support ticket. So yeah, the idea is to use this to build your list, and so just to kind of wrap up, we want to take some action when it comes to this. Nothing gets done without taking action. And you always want to keep your goals in front of you. Of course, we want to celebrate your wins, and again, run your own race and enjoy the process. So I appreciate your guys' time. I hope you got some good stuff out of this. That you have some clarity of where you're moving on next. And thanks a lot.